This is one of the only models of flail mowers on the market that is quick hitch compatible. Well, this was a new combination for me here, the Mahindra 2126 HST, the cab model. I'm gonna tell you more about that in just a second because we just got our hands on this bad boy. But this is a new and improved version of the Funny Top. This is our #1 selling flail mower. It might be the #1 selling flail mower nationwide of all manufacturers. This thing, I mean, we just sell a boatload of these things, and for good reason. And you can see that in today's video, or if you're a longtime follower in many of the past videos as well. So about a 25 horsepower tractor. Now this was what I thought could be a real challenge, not for the mower itself, but for the combination, because this is a very heavy tractor, about 2,700 pounds. It has air conditioning, so it's putting an extra draw on the engine and the horsepower resources, and then you're running a 62-inch wide, so hair over 5-foot wide mower on here, going up and down some hills, nothing crazy, but mowing some thicker stuff, some thinner stuff. And I was in medium range. I like to test things out in a little bit more of an aggressive way versus, you know, as easy as I can. I want to see how this stuff holds up, right? Because when we sell this equipment to you folks out there on all your different scenarios, right? Different machines, different elevations, you know, flat ground, hilly ground, whatever it is, we want to, maybe it doesn't make it completely foolproof, but we're on the harder side of things, so we know it'll work conservatively well for most folks out there in different applications. So I've kind of switched things up a little bit. You know, all of our fields out here, I haven't used any pesticides, herbicides, not even fertilizers at all this year. So I used them last year when I went to get our switchgrass installed and our wildflowers, okay? I really wanted to have a good start for germination. I did hit everything with Roundup at that point, but the long-term goal is to try to reduce all the chemicals as much as possible. And I'm not growing anything out here for a production. It's for really the wildlife benefit and for our benefit to see the wildlife out here. And I'm kind of just shifting gears a bit where I'm trying to let it be more natural looking. And there's some trade-offs with that, like the gravel lane, which is, I used to just whack it with Roundup, and same thing with the edges, and it would kill everything and keep the weeds at bay. And I've started to let things kind of creep in a little bit and make that more natural edge to an extent. But it is really satisfying. And going out here and mowing and seeing, this is the second year for the switchgrass coming in, and all the wildflowers, just kind of driving the tractor through all of these trails and, you know, just keeping things trimmed where, you know, we take our dog for walks and we just go on walks and sometimes take a four-wheeler, is incredibly satisfying. And that's what you're going to use a flail mower for on the majority of the time, right? Our maintenance tasks. And while you may find yourself in 3, 4, 5 foot grasses and weeds and brambles the first time you're mowing an area, more often than not, after you have an area kind of whacked down, you're just going to come out there and mow it every week, every 2 weeks, every month, or every other month, whatever it is, depending on your needs and desires. So that's what a tool like this is for. Does a great job mowing the trails and maintaining those. Going up and down a gravel lane, it does a really good job with the offset ability to allow you to not have to keep your tractor, your tires, your bucket, everything else tight to the edge, where number one, you're flirting with hitting your fence in this case on a regular basis, but two, that edge starts to become unstable a bit, right? The edge is soft, it starts to have some dips and drop-offs, and so you keep yourself out of the danger zone and let the mower shift over into that danger zone where it can get the work done that's needed, and you're in the safety zone. So this is the first real project we've done with this Mahindra tractor, and it is on the smaller side for my property, but it's actually comparable to the other smaller tractor that I use, which is not the John Deere 1025R, it's the Coyote CK40. And so while the CK does have more horsepower, it's close to being the same frame size. I can use the same size implements, and so that was one of the appealing benefits about getting this tractor in to test from Mahindra for a year. And again, it's a sponsored video, but we're allowed to give you our good and bad feedback. There's no crazy contractual obligations. Let's just kind of tell it like it is, like we would with anything else. So, but that was going to allow me to crisscross a lot of attachments from the CK to this Mahindra, and so I didn't have to go out and get a whole new pile of attachments in different sizes to be able to use on here. So a few of the standout features for me right now, fresh off the bat, again, that air conditioning is cold, and it gets cold quickly. The one thing I will say about the HVAC system is that I haven't found a way to get it to just automatically come on when you turn the tractor on. You actually have to hit a button because it's electronic controls to fire it up. So once you fire it up, then it gets cranking really cold really quickly. So that is interesting. I wish it would come on automatically. Not the end of the world. Well, and so one unique thing for me at this point is having a manual top link. And so that seems kind of crazy, but with a flail mower, you make constant, well, I find myself generally making constant adjustments to the top angle length, because how you control cut height with a flail mower is by adjusting the length of the top link. You can extend it out and it'll raise the height. You can shorten it up and it'll lower the height. And you do get a little bit of rotation without having to mess with the top link, because everything starts off the rear roller. And so you can get a bit of height adjustment just by raising and lowering the 3-point without messing with the top link at all. And to that point, the 3-point control that's on here is very responsive, and you can make like really fine micro adjustments really easily. And there's a lot of tractors out there that are a bit more clunky perhaps, and you can navigate through that, I suppose, by adjusting your rate of drop control, which will open and close the valve related to the 3-point hitch. That makes it go up and down faster or slower. So you can fine tune it with that as well. But it's something nice that I noticed that stood out to me that not a lot of tractors have. Folks, we are proud to be sponsored by RimGuard Solutions, a liquid ballast weight. It goes right inside your tires, completely hidden. Not only is it gonna help with safety, keeping those rear tires planted on the ground, it helps with loader efficiency and traction too. The benefits of RimGuard include being the heaviest all-natural liquid ballast weight on the market. It's not gonna corrode your rims like the old calcium chloride. It's not gonna freeze, and it's available at over 1,000 dealers nationwide. Find the dealer near you at rimguardsolutions.com. I wanna take just a second to tell you about this small business. 511 grill guards are custom made for John Deere, Kubota, and Coyote tractors. They provide more coverage than OEM, are made from thicker steel with smaller holes to minimize debris sneaking past. Many models even offer side and bottom guards for ultimate protection. 3D scan for a precise fit and coupled with a thorough powder coat finish create the gold standard in its category. Shipping is included in the price, and best of all, you can save an extra 5% off your order with code GWT. Protection never looks so good. And the last thing that really stood out to me right now is how comfortable the operator station is. It's a very, very comfortable seat. You know, I mean, tractors, as I get older and older, comfort is becoming more and more important, and that's why all my machines are cab machines. Man, we were driving through one of these fields when I was mowing the trails, and I don't know if it showed up on camera or not, but there were bugs literally everywhere. It was like an explosion of bugs of all different kinds. And I was like, holy smokes, if I was just in an open station, this could be terrible. I mean, I'm dealing with poison ivy. I've got a ground hornet sting there that's healing. I got one down here that's healing. There's just so many benefits to being inside a cab. I'm standing here sweating right now, but when I was in that cab, I was nice and cool. I mean, I just love a cab tractor, and it's just a nice machine. You know, it's really nice. You know, it's a nice shade of red. Chris and I were talking about how we just loved having a red tractor out here. It just kind of pops and looks good. So the verdict's still out. We haven't made our final decision on this machine yet. We have a long ways to go, but first things first impressions are very nice, and we're really enjoying it. This is one of the only models of flail mowers on the market that is quick hitch compatible. Look, this is the proof right here. Hooked right up to our Fast Cat 1. Now, you don't need to have a Fast Cat. You can use another quick hitch as well, but I don't know why you would. I mean, you should probably use a Fast Cat if you're gonna use one, but you don't have to take your quick hitch off to use this mower, which is just, it's a game changer. So night and day difference there. The other big improvement that Del Morino made to the funny top is adding this roller extension down here. And what that does is it really increases the range of your height of cut, okay? It used to really only cut to about 3 inches or so max. Now, they say with this extension, it'll go up to about 7 inches or so. I have not tested out to see if it will get to 7 inches, and frankly, I don't really have a need to get it up to 7 inches, but later this year, I might be able to find a way to try that out and see what the actual max cut height is. you got to bear in mind the roller is still going to be on the ground, okay? So the one example that comes to mind for me is like mowing a clover field or something, where you want to trim off the flowers and stuff on top to, you know, so it still keeps growing and doesn't dry out and harden. And you want to cut that 4 or 5, 6 inches somewhere in there, depending on your clover. Well, potentially you could do that. You know, I may be able to mow a field here and test it out later on, seeing if it'll work or not. But either way, that roller extension is going to give you more versatility, more of a variation of range of cut, and then the quick hitch compatibility is just second to none. So folks, I consider this a success. It was a lot of fun for me to mow. I love mowing, I love tilling. Well, I just love being on my tractor, but it was a great time. I hope you enjoyed the footage, watching it. You know, the wildflowers out here looking beautiful. It's just summertime. Summertime in Michigan is second to none. It's hard to beat. Now, if you're looking for a funny top mower for your tractor, or maybe a flail mower, you don't know which one to get because there's a lot of different series and there's different requirements too, like hydraulic requirements, tractor weight requirements, horsepower requirements. Just shoot us an email, send us your tractor, send us your situation, and we'll get you fit up with the right machine to fit your tractor and your needs. And guess what? We ship these nationwide every day of the week. That's what we do. So go to goodworkstractors.com. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to stop by, and until next time, stay safe. We'll see you soon.